Well, everyone, draw 226 is in the books. And what do we now know? That no program specified draws are officially back. Now, not with a big splash, but they're here. So after a much anticipated day, yesterday we had our watch party. Now we know Express Entry in all of its glory is back. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, as well as a live Q&A. Alicia's away, so I'm on my own today. Canadian immigration lawyer, Mark Holthe. And I'm back solo. We've got a bunch of people who are away on vacation. I'm heading away next week. So I thought I would jump on. I didn't want this this period of Q&As that we've continued to run. I didn't want it to come to an end, at least for this week while Alicia was away. So what more to talk about than Express Entry? So those of you who attended the watch party yesterday, it was pretty cool because right in the midst of our watch party, Draw 226 was posted, and it was, well, I know a number of you are a little disappointed with it. It definitely didn't have the bang that we thought it was going to have, but it's still positive news. And at this stage, you guys, after no draws like this occurring since December 23rd of 2020, hey, I'll take what I can get. And the question and what we're going to talk about today is, what does the future now hold? What can we expect? That's what we're going to talk about. So we're going to have lots of time for Q&As and everything. So hang tight with that. Let's jump on and see who's tuning in across all of the social channels. Dagan, we've got Dagan in here. Good to see you. Those of you also I know are very curious about the 18-month postgrad, and I've got some exciting news that I'm going to share with you in just a little bit about the 18-month postgrad work permit extension, which we're waiting any day now to get instructions from the minister. We've got Charles here. Good to see you, Charles. Thanks for connecting in. Ghislaine as well. Good to see you. Yes, Kanjan and a lot of other people are waiting for that postgrad work permit extension. Megamed, absolutely. Tuning in on Facebook. Great to have you joining us, and we will be able to answer questions. Absolutely. Hello, Matthew. Good to have you connecting in. Armin, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for joining us. And yes, so hang on. Don't post your questions just yet. We will get to them. And as you can see, Ravneet, when is the postgrad work permit one-time extension? Hang tight, guys. We will talk a little bit more about that in just a little bit. Navpreet, good to see you. Amy, back again. Very good morning. Missing you all. Missed you days live. Oh, still waiting on the Coper RCMP screen. Yep. It's still working through there. Hang in there, my friend. Okay, let's see who else. And make sure you always post where you're tuning in from, because I'd love to see that. Now that the Draw 226 is officially here, we know that people all over the world now have the possibility. Now, we'll leave aside the results of it. And if we flip over here, for those of you who are tuning in, yes, the Draw 226 occurred yesterday, July 6th, 2022. There were only 1,500 invitation extended. They're still working through backlogs, guys. They're still working through backlogs, but the minister promised he was going to do a draw. He followed through, and the score, the CRS score, was really high, 557. So to get this, and we talked about this at length in the YouTube, in the live stream that we did yesterday, you really need to have so much more than just pure human capital. Whether it's French, whether it's a job offer, whether it's, whatever Canadian experience, siblings in Canada, all of those things combined to result in such high scores. But if they had extended it to 5,000 people, which they could have done, then of course the score would have come down. But we'll leave that as it is. Okay, let's see who else is here tuning in with us. Leon, good to see you. Budika, hello. Good to have you here. Elikim, back again. Great to have you again. Olu's here, and Ekta is here as well. Budika says, hey, Mark, thanks for the commitment towards the public. I'm from Richmond Hill, Excellent. My pleasure, Boudica. And, let's face it, for all intents and purposes, what I'm trying to do here serves multiple purposes. One, I'm located in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. Back in December of 2019, I made a decision that I was going to leave the large regional firm that I was a part of. And most of you are not in Lethbridge. So why have an office? Why have this big fancy boardroom? And it was a beautiful office that I worked at the law offices of Stringham LLP. It was a beautiful office, but I never saw you. I saw you guys through this avenue. So I realized, I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to do some things different. And I created Holthe Immigration Law, which it was in existence back in 2008. And I've had lots of different configurations over the years, but I decided I'm going to go back and create a virtual firm. And that's what we've done. So we've got lawyers in Ottawa and Toronto and Calgary, and I'm in Lethbridge, and we're growing every single day. So if you know anyone who's looking to join an awesome firm that's an immigration lawyer, have them give me a call. We're growing and we're having a lot of fun doing it. So yes, so this, so the idea behind doing these is as much to get me exposure, because there's not a lot of people in Lethbridge, but also as a lawyer, I feel I have an obligation to give back to help people. And when do people call Mark? They call Mark when things go south. And there was a time, you guys, when I could fix virtually anything, but those days are long gone. So now I have to try to be as proactive as I can to help you guys to avoid the most common problems that you run into when you get a magical invitation to apply. And when we're looking at a world where the scores are this high, we just don't know what's going to happen in the future. And sometimes the most difficult thing that I see is when we have people who get that magical ITA and then they get their application returned because they miss something. Well, the consequences of that happening can be just absolutely devastating. Just because you got an ITA this time does not mean that you're going to get another one. And just because they return your application package to you, basically say that, sorry, it was incomplete, go back into the pool, does not guarantee you're going to get another ITA. So it can literally mean the difference between immigrating to Canada or not. And lots of people, I get some people posting comments here in the group, oh, Mark's just trying to scare people, or, he's making it sound like there's all these problems. Well, you guys, there are. And people who get their applications refused don't post on their WhatsApp group or on forums or Facebook pages. They don't say, oh, look at me, I forgot something, or I misinterpreted something, got my application rejected. Oh no, they call Mark. They call me, they book a consult. And in the midst of that consult, often I have to tell them, look, if you had reached out to me a year ago, this would never have happened. And now there just isn't anything I can do. Now, often there is things that I can do, but in many, many cases, there isn't. And so this is all designed to help you guys, essentially help yourselves. And in fact, the whole model of practice that I follow is all designed to help you DIYers get through the process with you driving the ship. You don't need me representing you before immigration, but you do benefit from me going through every piece, every section, every question, every document before you submit, and even helping you to submit the application together collaboratively. And then you drive the ship forward. And that's the collaborative review. And the consults that I do are all designed to answer those little spots where you're stuck. You just don't know. There's uncertainty. And despite what everybody tells you out in internetlandia, it is not nearly as easy as people make it sound out to be. And those who got through, I can't tell you how many people that got approvals that really an officer missed something, and they're fortunate. But we'll leave that as it is. Okay, let's see who else we've got here. So hang on your questions. I'll be getting to those in just a little bit. Okay, so this is Effie says, hey, Mark, bad day for most FSW yesterday, but we hope for the best watching from Austria. And I, my friend, will give you an applause, because that is like, what is the point of looking at the world as a glass half empty? The reality is for 1,500 people, they now are moving forward with their permanent residence. And, individuals that have had, really, really high scores and have just been waiting and pending and wondering what's going to happen, that has been an answer to prayer for them. And the only reason that those scores are so astronomically high at 557 points right here, you guys, is because the ministerial instructions only took 1,500 people. So, and we still, as I've talked about in the past, don't know what the impact of his new powers will be when he starts to look at strategic draws, where he targets specific aspects, specific cohorts, specific knock codes, all of those things. So I'm awesome, Effie, that you are keeping a positive attitude. Okay, and Kita, hey, hello, great to see you. Thanks for connecting in. Okay, hang on the questions, right, guys? Okay, Gabrielle, good to see you. Portinho, good to see you. Kanjun says, glad to hear that you have some insights about it. Olu's watching from Dubai. I'm doing great. My vision. Okay, are we looking at the new normal? No, I don't think so, Yasser. I don't think 557 is the new normal. It's not. Remember, because the draws have been stalled out for so long, there is a ton of people who have been in the pool that have only, that normally would have qualified. And all they're doing is their points are actually increasing over time. And that's what's driven this high CRS score. And there's only so many people. And as the draws start to get back to a routine nature, that's when we're going to start to see the comprehensive ranking system score settle. And how far it's going to settle down, it's hard to say. It is. And what impact will the minister's strategic draws have? We'll just have to see. All right. But that's a good question, Yasser. I don't believe it is the new normal. Okay. Alejandra, good to see you. Hello, SJ. Great to have you here. Peter, shout out to you as well. Disha's here. And we've got Grace and Yaroslavna. Hey, good to see you. How are you doing in Winnipeg? Great to be connected with you on LinkedIn. Thanks for tuning in. EJ's over in Saudi Arabia. Awesome. SJ, yes, waiting for the postgrad work permit extension course. That's actually a really good segue. So I'm going to flip over here and I want to show you guys something. So obviously you right here on the Canadian Immigration Institute, you can go here and you can see all the courses that we have. Express Entry, live, well, moving forward. We had a great group. You can go right now and subscribe. And then on August the 4th to the 5th, when you've had a chance to go through over 56 hours, how many hours is it? I keep forgetting how many. 60. Igor put this together for me, and he actually calculated the videos. I don't pay attention to how long they are. 642 minutes, which is basically over 10 hours of content. The reason I'm opening the cart now so that you can get access to this is so that when the time comes for the actual masterclass, you will have queued up all of your questions in our 1-hour sessions each evening. And so yeah, go in there, join, get access to it, join the group. There's a special community group associated with it. But this is what I want to show you guys right here. When you go here, you can click to get notified when the program is launched. The reason that it's not open is because we're still waiting on Minister Fraser to do his job, to issue the instructions. Now, I've talked about this at length, and personally, I think it's this problem with the developers in the portal. This is not rocket science per se. They're going to follow much of the same pattern that they did with the last one they did last year. But I think they're trying to wedge it through a new portal, and I think that's the delays. So we'll see how this plays out. But I want to let you guys know about something today. And I have a great little idea that I'm going to do for this postgrad. So the course itself, obviously, I'm not able to create the course until I know exactly what the minister is doing. Well, I think I can probably, and I have already started putting together a lot of it. Probably 80% I already know what it's going to be. It'll be more, how do you actually apply, registering, and those kinds of things. And then really hammering the problem areas, because anybody can fill out a form. Anybody can. So what I'm going to do, SJ, and those of you who have not yet gone to the site, and you can just click on the link below and it will take you to the Express Entry one. And I think in the link here, if you're wondering, how do I access this, Mark? In the description to the video, when you click on it, it will take you right here inside the Express Entry course. And I was kind of racing to get this posted. All you have to do is go back up here when you're on this page here and just click on Canadian Immigration Institute. And then right up there will take you here to the courses, explore the courses, and then go right down here and click this and leave your email to get notified when the program is launched and when the course is going to be launched. But here is the brilliant idea that I've had. you guys know that it takes time to build the courses. It takes time to record. And with this postgrad work permit 18-month, we also know that there's not going to be, one day where you have to file like the TR to PR pathway was, where there was a massive demand. Everybody needed to know. Everybody was stressed because they needed to get it filed to beat out everybody else. And you'll know, all of you, the international students who submitted, the international grads, those individuals, it was filled within one day, all of those spots. Well, it's not going to be the same for the postgrad, so people have time. But here is the fun idea that I have. So for that course, what I'm going to do, for really as low as I can possibly make, I think $25 is what I'm going to charge. I'm going to let you watch the creation of the video live. So you'll be able to log in, and Igor's in the process of working through this. But the recording, when I record the video content for the course, usually I charge, well, for the Express Entry course, it's $347 US. I think for the post-grad extension course, it'll probably be about $150. But what I'm going to do for $25, I'm going to let people watch the creation, watch it live. And as I record and do the tutorials and do the lessons, you will be able to join in live and watch the creation of it for a fraction of the cost of what it would normally cost to purchase the course once it's done. You'll always have the ability to upgrade and to get access to the recording and to the lessons and to the, supporting documents. But I thought this would be kind of fun to let people see behind the scenes how I create these courses, and to literally have, it's like you're on set, a virtual set, and it's going to be rough and tumble. It's $25, right? You'll see, where I make mistakes and have to correct them, but at its core will be the essential elements of how you can really, really up your chances of success with the postgrad, getting your application approved, essentially. So we're going to do it for just nominal cost, like $25, I think. And it will be just watch only. So you can sit and watch, no recordings or anything like that, but you can join in. And I have scheduled times where I'm going to be the recordings, and you'll have access to join in and just follow along at the journey and see how I create this. And so stay tuned. All you have to do to get access to that offer is leave your email address here so that we can notify you, and then it will be within the confines of our private community group. Okay. Oh, I've got a bunch of stuff going on here. Okay, there we go. I think we're back on track now. I don't know why it's pulling up. Sometimes I have this when I'm doing this, I've got this background video that keeps getting pulled up with me catching my fish. Anyways, so that's the audio. So just ignore that audio. Anyways, so there's SJ. Hopefully you've left your email address there, and then away we go. Okay, Grace watching from Qatar. Good to see you. Okay, let's see here. We're going to just do a couple more shout outs. Lad, an anonymous lad, is from Nigeria. And let's see who else we have here. Armin says, honestly, it was more of a little bigger PNP draw rather than an all program specified draw. Well, size wise, yes. And the CRS score was pretty high. But if you didn't have a provincial nomination, you wouldn't have been given an invitation. So that's obviously the most obvious difference. Chris, good to see you. And let's see what out here. Let's see. Okay, let's see what's next here. All right, I think I've given shout outs to most everybody here, I think. Okay, so let's dive in now. And now you can go ahead and post your questions. Andy says, hey, Mark, great to see you. Unbelievable how much energy you put into helping people. Very, very welcome. Okay, so anyone has questions, you can post them now, and we'll dive in here, and we'll get right down to it. So make sure if you have a question, put a Q in front of it, and then I'll know that it's an actual question you want me to look at. We're going to focus on Express Entry, but I'm open to talk about other things as well, depending upon the needs of all of you. We'll go here for another, well, let's see, we'll go a little bit longer till noon, and then we'll wrap it up at that time. And I think I've got everything organized here on my calendar, so wait for a few for a few questions to pop in. I'm just going to double check my calendar and see, yep, I've got till noon. And then I am doing an express entry review, an EIPR final review with a client. I love this. I love doing those things. There's nothing I love more than helping people with their express entry. And this client, we've done one review already. This is the final after they've done a few little touch-ups, and then we're going to all work together to upload all the documents, and then they're going to click submit. The beauty of Zoom, I absolutely love it. It's like we're in the same room, even though they're on the other side of the country. And that's how myself and all of our lawyers work together. And Cedric was also, telling me that he's got an awesome express entry review that he's got planned for a client just coming up here in the next couple of days. Okay. All right. Now, Preet says, hi, Mark, from your experience, have you seen any visitor visa application file mix with any old file of some other person due to IRCC glitch, and then the applicant doesn't get biometrics request? Oh my goodness. Have I seen problems like that? Yes, I have. I'll give you one example, Navpreet, of one of the most frustrating things. We were at the final stages for a client, and we sent in their passport for, finalization of their COPRs. And they were inside Canada. We'd filed through the Canadian Experience class, and this was before express entry. And we submitted the passports all in. Actually, do you know what? It was after express entry, but it was before the e-COPRs. And we submitted the passports in, and then I get a call from immigration, from the processing office. Not a letter or anything, a call that says, did you include the passports in that application? Because we don't have them. Well, of course I included the passports in there. And I said, did you guys lose them? Oh, no. And I said, well, no, we didn't lose them. Maybe you should check in your office to make sure they haven't been misplaced there. And I'm like, seriously? Okay, the size of my office compared to the processing center in Mississauga, I think you guys better be doing the checking. So the officer said, okay, well, we'll go take a look and then we'll let you know. And of course, they looked around. No, we can't find them anywhere. I said, so basically you've lost the passports. Well, my client will have to get some new ones. And the client was from China, and they were able to get them really quite quickly, declared them lost. We got them, we send them off, and I tell the officer, okay, but you better prioritize this. And if you're making my client now have to go get new passports, this better be processed and at a priority level. And so the officer said, yep, we'll do that. And then lo and behold, I get a call from the officer saying that they had located the passports. And Navpreet, guess how they located the passports? It was because the other person that they had mistakenly sent those passports back to in their package had notified IRCC that they had received someone else's passports. So they sent them to the wrong client. And then that person, and we've received improper letters to our office as well from other clients. We notified immigration, and then they collected them. But by that time, the client had already gone through the expense of getting new passports, and the old ones were basically spoiled. So, long answer to a short question. Are there mix-ups? Oh, yes, there are. And it happens far more than you can imagine. And this is a little pro tip that I want to give you guys. Anytime you're submitting a paper-based application, under any circumstances, always keep a full copy of everything. All the signed forms, the exact package that you sent in, keep a full copy of it, and never mail it in unless it's tracked with a signature on the other end so that you have proof that they received it. Because with big offices and they say, hey, we never received it. And if you never kept a copy, you sent it via regular mail, maybe the mail was at fault. Maybe the post office lost it in transit. But if you've sent it by courier, you've got a complete copy, then I politely inform immigration, you guys better put it back in the queue where it should have been before you lost it. So there we go. Great question, Navpreet. I'll give you some applause. That's fantastic. Okay. All right. Amrit says, in your opinion, what might be the execution of these targeted draws? Setting up quotas of targeted candidates in total or creating a new targeted stream? I do not believe that the minister is going to create a new targeted stream. He's going to build this within Express Entry. I think he has the ability to to establish specific cohorts. And let's just take a quick look at the way the express entry ministerial instructions are structured. So you can see here, this is an actual ministerial instruction. And this is, you can see right here, you can see the full text of the ministerial instruction. So the minister has to formally issue this, all right? And so you can see this is the summary, and then this is the full text. So Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, pursuant to, and this is the authority that allows the minister to do these rounds of invitations. It's in 10.31IA of the Act. It gives the annexed ministerial instructions respecting invitations to apply for July 6, 2022. Minister Sean Fraser right here. And then you can see this is the detailed text, and it basically sets out exactly what is in the summary right here. So the minister has the ability to adjust this. And you can see this is a no program specified draw, but right at the top here, he has the ability, and if we go back to this page, he has the ability to describe who fits within the category. So eligible foreign nationals, means a foreign national whose expression of interest is in the pool. And I don't know if anybody's actually even looked at this. So it's probably the first time that I've ever turned to this and showed you guys what this really means. Understand this part right here is just a summary that they put together. This is the actual ministerial instruction from the Minister Fraser. And so you can see the instruction means this, okay? And then the specific ranking means a class referred to in any paragraphs 2A to C of express entry, the ranking established only among the eligible foreign nationals who are eligible to be invited, the class referred to for these instructions, the ranking established. This is just the definition of what specific ranking means. And then invitation, and then invitations, here it is, may be issued under these instructions beginning July 6th and ending July 7th. So that's when they'll all be extended out. So technically it could happen throughout the entirety of July 6th. The number of invitations he's indicated right here are 1,500. And then the rank for an eligible foreign national to be invited to make an application, they must be ranked among the first 1,500 eligible foreign nationals in the general ranking right here. Okay, so he can very easily slide in here into the invitation. So this is the period, this is the number, and this is the rank. He now has the ability to establish a special class within here that says anyone who has work experience in these NOCs also have to have that in order to meet the minimum requirements to get the ITA. Just like for, if we go back, and you know what, this is helpful, I think, for you guys, because I don't think anyone has really taken a lot of time to break this down. Let's look at the wording of the provincial nominee program, because this will help. So when there's a specific program like this, if we go look at the full text, you can see they have the definitions, the same ones. And then you can see here, invitation period, invitation number, and what do you see here, guys? Classes, okay? So you can see in this, they've broken it down. So here, you can see no one's invited for federal skilled worker, for the Canadian experience, for the federal skilled trade, because they only did it by the class of provincial nominees. And the minister, before the changes for Bill C-19 went through, he was limited to these categories. So realistically, he could make variations or subcategories or create whatever kinds of classes that he wants to based on the economic needs of Canada. And so, yes, and so individuals who are among the first 636 eligible are then going to be able to receive those ITAs. So it's going to look very similar to PNPs, but the minister has the ability to modify that. So I don't know if anyone has actually shared that with you guys before, but that's how it's structured. So there you go. Good times. Good question, Amrit. Thank you, my friend. Okay. What could be the next CRS score? This is the greatest speculating thing of all time. This is the most amazing crystal ball process of all. And so if you go through here and we look at this, let's go back at what was in the pool at the time in which these were extended. So we know 1,500 people were pulled out. There was probably all of these, and then a little bit less than 1,000 in here. So we know that there's probably almost 8,000 that are still in here. So what does that mean? The next draw for sure is going to be above 500. And if the minister chooses to continue issuing only 1,500 in the upcoming rounds, because they're still working through finalizing the balance of those that are still in the queue, then I suspect that if he does another 1,500 draw, then if this draw right here was 557, I would say it's probably still going to be up as high as 540 at least. That's my view for the next draw if he does another 1,500. I think I'd said about 520 or something, I think, or 514. I can't remember if he did a 5,000 draw, but you can just look at the numbers that are in the queue. These are all over 500, and there's probably still in the pool almost 8,000. Okay. So probably just a little bit under, because you add these up, you guys can do the math. 1,500 drawn, and you've got about 1,400 here. So, all right. So that's my view on that question, which is a good one. Okay. Let's see what we have next. Okay, Vishali says, hey, Mark, how about PNP for accountants or bookkeepers? Lots of people ask this question. And you guys, it's just not that simple. It's not that simple. There's so many other factors that you have to look at, Vishali, so many. And it's not just a simple matter of, oh, which PNPs like me. Now, ultimately, it comes down to all of the various changes within the programs, and they change all the time. Programs close, new ones surface. Even when it comes to the eligibility requirements, occupations are only a part in some cases of what it takes to qualify. And then there's the question of, are you inside Canada or outside Canada? Most people like you, Vishali, that ask that question are outside Canada, probably with CR scores that are you feel are too low, and are now wondering, hey, if I can get one of those targeted draws like the OINP, or maybe get an expression of interest from another province, I can go through that route, and that's a possibility. But yeah, it's not possible to just say, okay, these are the PNPs that would work for accountants or bookkeepers. They're two very, very different things. One's, from a skill level standpoint as well as a demand standpoint. So, okay. All right. So Saneeth, okay, he says, will IRCC reject study permits if the applicant is from a country which is not doing well economically, but all financial documents, UAE, and educational documents, UK, are from another country? All of those things are factored in. When it comes to countries that are not doing well, there is a clear correlation. And I think it would be beneficial to show you guys something here. I'm going to flip over here. Let's flip it over to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to go here to playlists. And then I'm going to scroll down to Immigration Nation, if I can find it here. Immigration Nation, full playlist right here. So I'm going to go to this one, and in here, and it's been a little bit since we've done one. LJ, let's see here. Why your visa application is refused. Let's see, where do we have LJ? Me and LJ. Okay, here we go. Study permit Canada, approval rates, and other statistics. So that one right there, I think that's the one that we did, where we went into depth as to just the factors and the geography that plays into this. I'm pretty sure that was the one. At least I don't think, let's see. I did a couple with LJ. Yes. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that's the one that I did with LJ. And if you guys haven't watched it, you guys really, really need to take a look at this one. So this one was, okay, let's see here. LJ, this was back on, man, I don't even have the date stamp here. When was that? I don't remember when it was posted. I guess I did 1 year ago. Okay, well, I guess it was a year ago. Anyways, go in there and look for this study permit Canada, approval rates, and other statistics. And in that, we actually, let me just go up here. Yeah. So so if I show more, show less, I'm having fun here, guys, trying to figure this out. Oh, I guess I don't have a lot in there. Okay, we'll leave it. Anyways, go check that one out, because seriously, why is that coming through there? Just give me a second. That is so funny. I've got to figure out how to get rid of that video that I've got playing in the background there. It is. I can't shut it off. Okay, well, we won't worry about it. All right. Ignore the fish, me talking about my biggest, fattest fish, rainbow, that I've ever caught. It keeps playing in the background. But hey guys, this is all about just teaching and helping. It's not about having some fancy video. So if things don't go well, that's how we roll. And just to remind you guys, if you are curious about the 18-month post-grad course and my creation of it, I'm going to sell exclusive access to the creation of it for, I think, $25. So click on here to get notified when we do that. And I can guarantee that it's going to have lots of bloopers and problems and challenges, but the content and how I create, and you're going to learn, it's going to be awesome. And having you there is just going to make it a lot funner for me too. There's nothing like doing a recording where there's no audience. I am a public speaker. I love doing this stuff and I can't wait. I'm actually planning an Indian world tour next year. So I want to go around to a number of different locations in India next year in person and do some live shows. So I think that would be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for more information on that. All right. So ultimately, they're not just going to reject Saneeth, but it all plays in. It's all a factor. So, okay, let's see what's up here. Oh yeah, Q, CEC class. Good question, PS. Good question. I don't have an answer for you there. Okay. Okay, Addis says, Dear Mark, requested Schedule A form for spousal and confirm received mail. How long it takes for PPR? This is a nightmare, you guys. I've had so many of you who have gotten married in this lengthy period when you've been waiting for your permanent resident application to be processed. And I've got one client, especially India is awful. I don't know what's going on in India, but it's just a disaster. And I really, really feel for you guys. Okay. Jonas says, hey, Mark, we should fish some striped bass one day when I will come hopefully to Canada. When to expect FS Outland CRS 511? Well, that would be so much fun. I really, really love it and enjoy it. I wonder if I can, let me just see here. It's in the background, so I can't play it. That's why I was going to actually show you the fish that I caught, but yeah, at the end of the day, when it comes to the Outland 511, I believe it will get down to that. But when you look at the rounds of invitations and we can see how many people are in the queue, you have to get through this. And this obviously at this high level, when they push through here, like this isn't going to be filling up fast because it's really hard to get up that high without a nomination. And so when will it drop down to 511 there? I'm thinking we're July now. I'm thinking possibly September. It depends on how many they issue, but maybe September. That could be it. Okay, keep going through here. All right, Farshad says, I got invitation yesterday. That is fantastic. I'm going to give you an applause here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to turn it up. I'm turning this up. This is, yes. That is fantastic. I am so excited for you, Farshad. Okay, says, I got my invitation yesterday. Does the police that I used in 2014 for my study permit, would that still be okay? I've not been living in those countries after I moved to Canada. How about medical exam? Even I lived here. Okay, Farshad, this is stuff. This is all stuff, my friend, that I cover in my Express Entry course. So in detail, you can access it right now. You are the perfect candidate. And that's why I actually created the masterclass for August 1st, because it will give you time here over the next 3 weeks to pound through the videos and educate yourself and get the answers to all of these questions that you're asking. But here's the rule. So if you haven't returned back to that country after you obtain the police certificate, technically it doesn't expire, but 2014 is a long time. And I like to have things a little fresher if I can. So even though the policy directives from immigration, from IRCC, state that your police certificate should be valid if you've never returned since you received that police certificate and you weren't there when you got it, but you got it after you left, it's not going to expire. I still would encourage you to get a new one. I would. Now, it depends as well on how challenging it is from that country, but I don't usually like to take any chances. So 2014, I would probably get an update. And then as far as medical exam, well, if you're here and you obtained a medical, then you don't have to do it up front. But if you're outside and you are, well, obviously you're here because you've got a study permit. But if a person was outside, I always get those upfront medicals regardless. All right. So Farshad, head on over here, my friend, and join me. I would love for you to join me in the course. And the masterclass, like I said, is August 1st to the 4th. And you can just click on the link in the description below and slide right in. But it would be awesome to have you join me, and we can make sure that you're saving all of this time hunting and searching for information because it's all right there. All right. Okay. Malishka says, how about 478? Is that going to be any good for CEC? Well, the minister we know has the ability to issue CEC only draws. We know that because there haven't been any since September, what is it, the 20th or something of last year, that there's a number of CECs that are queued up, a number of international students that are working through the process, and foreign workers in Canada that are going through CEC. So down to 478, I think if they were doing only CEC draws, it's possible, but also, the minister has the ability for specific occupation. So take that into consideration as well. Okay. Armin says, and this is a really good question, Armin. Will there be any consideration for those who lost CRS points because they got older when there was no CEC draw? That I can tell you, my friend, there's going to be no mercy for that. Nope. The only time age is locked in is once you get your ITA. Okay. Okay. Leon says, hello, Mark. I'm holding a visitor visa, planning to get a work permit as an ECE assistant. But my employer is hesitant to sponsor me. Can you tell me how to land a successful LMIA permit? It all comes down to the employer. It's an employer-driven process. But one thing I want to strongly encourage you guys, I'm going to flip over here to our website. In resources, blog post right here. Chanel in our office did an excellent, and she was a recruiter in a previous life, a professional executive recruiter with a large company. She did that as well as her law degree. And so this is her wheelhouse, 100%. But if you scroll down here, you'll see that she did a blog post on, we can find it here, right here, this one, right there. All you need to know about job offers in Canada. So I strongly encourage you, and you can listen to the podcast episode as well. We also did a video on the YouTube channel. And if we scroll back here, I'll remind everybody on the YouTube channel, close this, that's an ugly face. You can go here and you can search the window. And if we go here, job offer, and I search it, boom, it comes right up here. All you need to know. So there's lots of content on this topic, but this is a very, very volatile area because you guys know as well as I do, the crooked, insidious scammers out there who exploit you, who get in cahoots with an employer, and then they charge you $30,000 Canadian or more and for a job offer, and then basically you're paying for your own job. And it's 100% illegal. They will exploit you. They will take advantage of you. And any employer who gets into that, I wish that the government could crush them and just shut the business right down. Any agent or consultant or lawyer that ever gets involved in anything like that should be disbarred, should be removed from ever being able to practice as a consultant. And I have zero patience for it. So it's a very, very seedy world, Leon. And so in your situation, it's an employer-driven process. You have to find one that loves you. Find one that's willing to pay $1,000 and post the ads and show there's no Canadian. But guys, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and the economy is heating up. In meetings that I had at the end of last year, I think it was last year in December, with ESDC, so that's Employment and Social Development Canada. And who are they? They're the ones that oversee the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, the issuance of the LMIAs. They were talking about how they were surprised to see in some areas high vacancy and high unemployment. What does that mean? High vacancy means employers looking to fill jobs, but they can't find people to fill them. While in the same geographic region, lots of people that are unemployed that could work in those positions, but are just too freaking lazy to take the job. And so, yeah, anyways, so there we go. All right. And I actually want to point out as well, Leon, if I go back once again to the courses, the LMIA right here, I have an LMIA course for high wage positions that you can access right now. And yes, so that one is available. All right. let's go back here and let's jump to, oh my goodness, driving me crazy. I've turned that off. Why is that audio still going? It's just killing me. Okay, back on track. I got to figure that out. It's driving me crazy. Okay. All right, let's see what's next here. Trying to find ones that will be of general help to all of you guys. Ghislaine says, I applied for a PNP in March 2022. Should I be worried about backlog, and when can I expect PPR? Look at the processing times. That's something everyone time and time again asks me about this. You can trust them. I had a meeting with the minister and my other CBA executive colleagues. I think it was February. And one of the last things that I drilled into him is I said, look, you've got to change the way the processing times are listed, because individuals, if they can't trust what's here, this is not serving any purpose for you to put your service level standards, what you hope to do. You need to put what the real times are. So if you look at provincial nominees, and I'm assuming we'll say it's an express entry. If you click yes, processing times are 18 months. Okay. If it's not, if it's through the application for permanent residence process, it's 26 months. So there you go. And you can look those up, and you actually can, to a large extent, rely on us. This was updated 2 days ago. So they are trying to keep up to date. It's interesting. They're also working, you guys, on being able to provide more real-time, helpful processing within your own portals. Was in a meeting as well where they showed us some of the things that they were working on initially with spousal sponsorships, where you could actually see where your application was really at in the queue. There was a time when they issued that goofy little progress bar, that really was useless. All it did would advance, every day it would advance 1 day. So the whole bar was basically 6 months, and it did nothing other than tell the person, well, your application's been in the queue for 4 months. So the bar was passed up to the 4-month period. So, so lots of changes coming, but there you go. And I'm just trying to share what I know, you guys, just trying to share. Okay. All right. So Kasra says, hey, Mark, based on the plans, how many express entry ITAs do they plan to issue before 2023? It is kind of confusing. Are the numbers landing or something else? Great question, Kasra. Let's go in here and we're going to look at the levels planning for IRCC. Let's see if I can find the supplementary information. Okay, this is it. Okay, let's take a look at this. So this is the levels plan, and this is the range of landings, people who are physically landing in Canada. And they usually, forecast out at least 6 months from the date when a person receives, their passport request. Sometimes they project out that it can take up to 6 months for them to actually land. Well, we're into July, and that's why the minister started doing it, because he knows the people that received an invitation to apply yesterday, none of them are going to land in Canada. Well, very few until 2023. So they're going to impact these numbers in the 2023 range. And here's the economic. You can see federal high skilled, that's the ones. So that's your, and if you click on here, it takes us down here to tell us exactly what it is: federal skilled worker, skilled trade, and CEC. Okay. So if we go back up here, you can see the numbers, and we go by year. This is this year right here. They're expecting to do about 55,900. That's why all those reports before were all about, oh, there's no spots and there isn't going to be a draw until the end of the year. I was never in that camp. I'd repeatedly said probably about mid-years when they'd kick it on and, kick it up again. And that's what happened. But when it comes to this, 55,900, the next year they're increasing the targets. And why are they still keeping the targets down a little bit? Because they have to flush out all of the TR to PR pathway folks. And that's what this is, the federal economic public policies. And so technically as well, you can see there is a high range of 64,000 or 84,000. But generally speaking, all of the people that are coming through right now, these people are going to be landing in this cohort in 2023. And then if you go over a little bit, you can see here that for 2024, there's no more TR to PR that's going to be taking up these spots. So then this will expand even further. And they're aggressive. You can see the targets each year, they're planning on increasing. And, it's not going to be long, I think, before they've got a target of maybe 500,000 new immigrants each year. So That's just to give you a little bit of an update. And what I want to point out, those of you who are counting the invitations that have been extended, don't count the PNPs. So if you scroll down here, you can see that there are certain allocations for business, for the economic pilots like caregivers, agri-food, rural northern, Atlantic immigration program. But look at here. Do you see the high numbers? So provincial nominee programs have their own numbers. So 83,000 is what they are, the number of individuals they intend to land this year. Next year, it's 86,000. Okay. So that means that each of the provinces are going to start getting a few more quotas. Their quotas are going to enlarge and they're going to expand a little bit. They're going to get, a couple hundred more each province for 2023. But these people, 86,000, are likely the ones now that are going to be landing and getting their invitations to apply this year, probably landing next. So remember that the figures that we have here, PNP is separate. So when we go back to our rounds of invitations here and the invitations that have been issued, the no program specified are the ones. The reason there isn't a breakdown of classes when we look at the actual full text of the ministerial instructions, because everybody's included. It's open season. It's only based on CRS. That's why there's no breakdown of classes here in the actual ministerial instructions. But if we go back here and we look at the previous rounds and we look at the provincial nominee program right here, these invitations that are issued, the 752 is the score, 636 that were issued, those numbers go against the quota for the 86,000. Well, if they land, they'll be included with that or this, not up here in these lower numbers that we have for the federal high skilled, the CEC, FSW, FST. Okay. There we go. Teaching. Yep. All the time. Man, boy, that drives me crazy. Okay. Let's put that on mute. All right. Let's keep zipping forward here. So great questions, you guys. Great questions. Okay. Fox here says, do we upload study permits for PNP, PR applications? See other questions above. Thanks. Not going to see other questions above, but no, you do not. Yeah. Well, let me rephrase that. It depends on, I'm assuming if you're going through a PNP that you probably have got your postgrad work permit. And so at times they'll ask for your status document, the current document that you have showing your status in Canada. And in that case, that's when you'll often put your postgrad work permit. Okay. Let's see what's next here. Oh, yes. Okay. Nisrin says, hello, Mark. Thanks again for yesterday's giveaway, free consultation. Yes. I am super excited that you were able to win that. So unfortunately, I didn't receive an ITA. That's okay. There is still time. And realistically, the draw was low and it'll just take time for things to roll over and for those scores to start coming down. Okay. How important do you think French will play in future draws? Thanks. Nisrin, I think it'll be really important. We know that French language ability, and those of you who are avid IRCC folks, I'm just going to pull this up here. I'm going to pull up the actual criteria. Those of you who really are avid express entry aficionados know that when it comes to points, and if we scroll down to the very bottom here and we get to these additional points, you can see there is a whack of points for people that have French language. So you can see here, if you score a 7 or higher on all 4 French languages, and you have even a low English, you're still going to get 25. But most of you have quite a high level of English already, and it's the French that you're building up. In that case, you can get up to 50 extra points. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a game changer. Where else are there points? Well, obviously for, education in Canada, 1 or 2 year programs are 15 points, 30 points if you do a university degree. And then this is the other big one. If you're an executive CEO in a big company and you're working on an employer-specific work permit, or you have an LMIA to support your work permit, you get a whopping 200 points, which really pushes things over the top. And regular arranged offers. Okay. Of course, points for siblings if you have a brother or sister in Canada. So, oh my goodness, I'm going to lose my mind. All right. Okay. Let's jump down here. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing any super chats. Okay. Eli says, has the minister IRCC indicated if the upcoming draws will be bi-weekly? I've got 479, hoping they flush out the high scores by the end of the year. I know, I do too as well, Eli. And I have no reason to doubt they've consistently followed pretty much a 2-week pattern. And with the PNPs, they were religiously every 2 weeks. But there were times before, if you go back and look historically at the rounds of invitations, where they weren't always right on, right on that kind of 2-week rotation. So, all right, let's jump to a few more, and then we're going to wrap up for today. Great question, Eli. Thank you. Okay, let's see who's next here. I'm trying to find someone I haven't asked a question to. Let's see here. And one thing I want to point out, like Rupinder here. So he's given me a lot of details. I really try to isolate questions that are going to be of general applicability. If any of you have a question, you're uncertain, you're not sure what to do, and clearly it's something that just affects you, that's really legal advice. And I need your whole story. I need to know all the context in order to give you specific advice and direction. And that's why in the link below, you can book a consult with myself or one of the lawyers in the firm. All you have to do is go to our site. When you click on the link, it will take you actually right here to book a consult. And then it's super easy. Choose the lawyer. When you click on the lawyer's time, okay, so we'll go for me here. You'll see if you click on 25-minute consult, and then you look at availability, I'm going to be away next week with my wife in Prince Edward Island. So, and then when I come back, I think the consults are actually already full for these days. So the 21st would be the first date for me. But the beauty of our firm and having awesome immigration lawyers is that if you go back here and you see, you click on Cedric here, let's just jump back and it'll refresh. So you'll see if you click 25-minute consult for Alicia, she is gone for July. So she's gone for these months. She isn't going to be back. She's doing a little cross-Canada tour with her family. But if you look at Chanel here, like today's Thursday, so she doesn't have availability on the 8th, but she is open. So Chanel's got lots of availability. And remember, Chanel went through the process just like you did. She immigrated from Australia. She became a lawyer here, and she's got a ton of skill set. And same thing for Cedric. If you look at Cedric here, he's away this week, but then he's right back into it, and he may even be full on Monday. So lots of choices for you when you're looking for assistance. And this is the thing that we love more than anything, just to help you guys. Okay, let's jump down here. So Rupinder says, my CRS is 458, age is 31. Do you think I should go for study? Will I get through with this age? 2, my brother is in Canada on a student visa. Should I go on a visitor visa and search for jobs? So Rupinder, this is one where I bring that little triangle and say, click on the link and book a consult. And let's look at everything and see what your options really are. That 25-minute consult can really help you to make sure that you're going down a path where you're going to have options. You know, you have to have options when you're going through Express Entry now. Programs open, programs close, you know, things are volatile, and you want to make sure that you leave yourself as many options open as possible. And that's what we cover in the consultations. Okay. Let's see here. I've got one more and then we'll finish off with that. Let's see who's our winner for the last question here. Amrit, you're very welcome for that comprehensive answer. Okay, we'll finish off with Francine, who I'm going to give Francine an applause because that was a fantastic question. She says, if my family is unaccompanying, do I need to show proof of funds for the group or just myself? The group, all of your family. So there you go. All right, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much for connecting in. Wrapping up as always, this is sponsored by the Canadian Immigration Institute. And this is your source of do-it-yourself content driven by yours truly, Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer. Masterclasses are often associated with each of the courses just to add this extra level of support. Express Entry is live. You can go right in here, register, and join me August the 1st to the 4th in the masterclass. It's so important because when people register at the last minute, they don't have a chance to even go through the videos. And if there is something that's not covered in the video that relates to them specifically, they miss out on the opportunity to ask because they just don't know what they don't know. But if you register now, get access to the course, go through all of those 56 lessons, you're ready to hit the pavement running with force. And so you've got every question that you could ask, and I answer every single one. And past alumnus like Thesura here, this was the best 347 I've ever spent. You guys have seen Thesura join us here. Shelly, immigration consultant. I can't remember. I think Shelly's in Ontario. She took the course. She was just learning about express entry. And she said, thanks, Mark, for providing me with great tips and answers to so many difficult issues. This type of learning is unmatched. And so that's Shelly, an immigration consultant. And then Shrikar says, thanks so much, Mark. Absolutely worth buying the course. And we have a whole group of new individuals in the last one that I'm going to be posting up here for you guys. But the express entry course, that's the one option. And then watch careful. Make sure you click on this link and leave your email address with me here, and I will notify you the moment I start to record the postgrad 18-month extension course. I'm going to offer it for $25, dirt cheap, and you guys are going to be able to watch me record it live. It will just be live. There's an option. There'll be an option for you to then get access to the course for an extra fee. But right at this moment, this is all, it's going to be so cool because I'm going to offer it for like $25, a fraction. Like it'll be the absolute lowest price you'll ever get to access any of my courses. And it's going to be rough and tumble, and you're going to watch the making of it, but you're still going to get the value of the content. So it's going to be lots of fun. So watch for that. And obviously the moment the minister announces anything, you're going to be the first in to see, because I'll start recording those courses. Realistically, I can do it in an evening, and then we'll launch the course officially. But for 25 smackers, you can watch it live. Fun for me, awesome for you. So pay attention to that one. And then the last one, the spousal sponsorship, is back again by popular demand. Once again, you can access the course. You can purchase it right now, start going through the lessons, and August 15th through the 19th is when we're going to do the masterclass. So I'm going to be busy in August, but I'm going to have a lot of fun in July. And that is, that's where it's at. QET course for any Ukraine nationals looking to come to Canada, that's entirely free. And the LMIA course is here. And then the PR card renewal course is coming soon. All right, guys, thank you so much. Oh man, thanks so much for watching and being a part of this. We will see you maybe next Wednesday. Igor and Cedric are working on a way to get them up and running, because I've driven this ship for so long, and so that they can do a live in my absence if needed. But yeah, it was fun today to talk about what the future holds for express entry, and we'll just see. But yeah, next 2 weeks, it'll be curious to see what the minister does, if it's another small one, which I kind of suspect it might be, or whether he starts to be more strategic. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. It was awesome having you with us, and yeah. All right. Take care, you guys.